Hello, 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 everyone. Hey,
Hi,
Nicole, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you, first of all, so much for coming on my show. We've
You're
been
welcome.
following you, and you are killing the game. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So I see a lot of your people over here. My people kind of they get a little lazy and they get here a little late, but they'll be here. And so thank you to everybody that's here as you come in. If you will hit the like, that just keeps us in the algorithm, and it's a free way to support the channel. We do appreciate you being here, Nicole. If you want to just give us like give YouTube time, because to let people know we're live here, and I'll just go over what I have. We're just going to talk about, all things Kada Scott. What we have found out is that the funeral is actually going to be on Saturday. And so I just found that out today. And then also what we want to do is just give people that are new, like that are coming over that don't know anything about Kada Scott, a real high level overview of what it's about. We won't spend a lot of time doing that because a lot has unfolded since it started. Again, everybody, thank y'all so much for coming in. Nicole, thank you for inviting your people over. It means everything. And just know we support you. We support you over there on TikTok. You guys follow her on TikTok if you're not already. It is True Crime Nicole, talking about Kate Scott a lot, and it needs to be. So I have a question, Nicole. What prompted you to start, covering this story the way that you did?
Um, Honestly, one day, a case happened here, um, where I live, and some another creator that I like collab with sometimes and I work with, she was like, I think they found Kata Scott. And so then I looked into it, and it was that weekend that they had found her body. And so I went live on TikTok and streamed it. And then I was like, I want to know more. So
Right.
I kind of just started digging and diving and going live all the time. And I ended up just building a huge community of people from Philadelphia.
Yeah,
And
I
here
saw
I am.
also. Shout out to Philadelphia. I also saw you on Fugitive TV. Um,
Yeah,
and he's killing the game too. And I was like,
he's doing so good.
what better way to listen to both of these individuals talking about
Yeah.
the case, right? So that was a good interview as well. And so we just love your channel, and we will continue to follow you. And we'll just jump right in. So pretty much, basically, for those that don't know, I know I get a lot of new people here, and like, what are you talking about tonight? So basically, we're talking about Kada Scott, her unaliving. Hey Montana, hey, one of my mods just showed up. I appreciate you being here, Montana. But anyway, so the reason we started following it is because it did catch my attention when it just started splattering all over the news, all over in these YouTube streets, on TikTok. And I was like, okay, what about this? And so I thought it was very important to keep this in the forefront for this young lady. I mean, that's the least we could do for her and her justice, right?
Right.
Do our little part. And so basically, she was missing. I have a lot of questions for you, Nicole. So I'll let you jump in. I'll be respectful of your time.
No,
Um,
you're fine. I have till whenever.
Good. I do too. So good. And so you guys that you don't know, for those of you that know, she was missing. Keon King was arrested. They had said they went and searched and combed through where she actually was, didn't find her. Said they took the dogs out there, even didn't sniff her out. She was, and come to find out, an anonymous caller called, told them, you need to go back. You're missing it. You're missing it. They found her in a shallow grave. Now, that brought a red flag for me, for law enforcement to say, like, okay, it's a shallow grave and the dog didn't sniff her out. So
Yeah.
those were the questions I had too. And then we find out they found her. Then then everything started unfolding. Gabby came out on her live, which is what we wanted to talk about, a little bit about Gabby and D and everything you found out. So basically, she was found. We then didn't know how she was unalive, found out that she was unalive by a pow pow. We have to talk that way on YouTube, you guys. Sorry.
Okay.
they're a little touchy over here. Found
Mm-hmm.
out that she was unalived and that it was a pow to her head, unfortunately. Found out she had went to work, never clocked in. Then I had my speculations because of the text messages that she was just going to go sit in the car, have a talk. He took off with her. That was just my opinion and my speculation. So, Nicole, I wanted you to jump in. I want you to start where you think is necessary or what makes sense to start in. I do believe that Keon has made an appearance in court. I believe Monday or Tuesday this week, and that he has another court date for preliminary on next week, is what I'm hearing. So, Nicole, wherever you want to jump in, we can have at it.
I don't know.
Okay.
Where do you want me to start?
Then I'll help you. Yes, absolutely. So where I want to start is I want us to go back to Gabby because and I'll tell you why. I want to go back to Gabby for the simple reason is that when Gabby came out, I felt like she had a need to like come out and protect herself, like stand up for herself because they're saying I had something to do with it and I didn't have anything to do with it. And then they found, as we started looking at the case, they said there were two ladies in a house. And I'm remembering Dee and Gabby as friends, right? So I'm thinking it's Gabby and Dee in this home where we come to find out it's absolutely not Gabby and Dee. What are your thoughts about Gabby? What are your thoughts about Dee and how you think they might be a part of this?
So I have a different feeling between the two of them.
Okay.
So with Gabby, I'm a little more suspect with Gabby, but as far as with Dee, I don't feel like she's involved at all.
Okay.
I think I think Gabby, her speaking, like her videos that she came out and said on social media, there was a lot of things that didn't add up. I mean, her saying that she called him, I'm so sorry if you hear noises. My dog is playing with his squeaky toy.
That's okay.
So if you hear the squeaky, I'm sorry.
Funny, that's okay.
But the text message or the phone call that she had with Keon, she said that he called me, but then it was an outgoing call. So that was a little like odd to me. And the context behind that call was he was calling to ask me where Kada, if I knew where Kada lived or if I knew who Kada was.
Right.
So if he called her to ask her that, the actual context to me seems like it differed a little bit with it actually being an outgoing call where she called him.
Yes.
So my question is, did she call him to speak on Kada, or was it just a quick conversation like, hey, I found this information out. Maybe he called her previously to ask her about Kada and she had to do some research.
Yeah.
I don't know. With it being an outgoing call and not an incoming call, the context to me seems like she was calling him to talk about Kada, not him calling her to talk about Kada.
Yeah. I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Yeah, because we were thinking the same thing. Like at first, it was like she was saying on her live, he called me. He was asking about her, if I knew her. I told him that I knew her, but I knew her sister better, And so she was like, we just thought maybe he was into her, like he wanted to meet her and was liking her. And then come to find out, not at all. Like you called him. So my question, of course, red flags, right? And I talk with my hands, so I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Of course, red flags, right? Because I'm saying you told us that he called you when in all actuality you called him. You're saying that you're where did she say she was in Alabama? But what is your now?
Maryland,
right? Maryland. And my question is, why are you calling talking about Kada? Like that was my question is like, where did Kada come into play with you and Gabby? Gabby Keon, right?
And she kept saying, well, I'm at school, but I believe whenever I did the research, when I did the distance, it was only like 2-hour drive from her school to Germantown. So that's nothing to drive, that's
Yeah.
nothing to drive. Now I don't think that Gabby is connected physically, in my opinion.
Okay.
Maybe just conspiring through like through phone to help him out to get info. Because of her sitting there saying like, I don't want to call the cops, I don't want to talk to cops, no cops, no cops. That's a little like alarming. And Dee's like, no, like
Yeah.
there's a girl missing, she's
Yeah.
dead, and you don't want to say anything. So it was a little off. Dee was like full force. I'm going to tell them everything I know because I'm clean.
Yeah.
And Gabby's like, no, 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 we're not going to say anything. And now, after being friends for so long, and years, they're no longer friends because of that.
Right. Like, I'm not a cop killer, but Dee was like, listen, do you hear what you're saying? And since you're not going to call the cop, I'm going to go live and I'm going to tell everybody that you're not going live because this girl is missing and you need to tell that he talked to you about him and she would not do it. Another
Yeah.
red flag for me. Another red flag for me, which is why I always thought Gabby in the back of my hand and never thought Dee. I never thought Dee had anything to do with it other than maybe she knew something and was like, you better tell it, right? Or else I'm going to tell it kind of situation. So I was confused at that. My other thing is, I think I agree with you, Nicole, in the fact that I don't think she was there physically or did anything physically, but you talked about on that live and maybe on yours as well as her background and the crimes that she had committed prior, right? And so I'm thinking, like, if she is a part of this, like what part did she play in? Is it simple as he was calling her, telling her everything that happened or how it went, like, how it played out? Or is it that I mean, I don't know how I'm trying to figure out Gabby. I really am lost on Gabby.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I am too. I mean, I don't think D, going back to D, I don't think D has anything to do with it. Now, the only thing that was really odd to me is that D was like going around saying Kada lived here and Kada was seen here with walking her dog, and like the specifics behind it was just like, why? Like, why are we seeing this?
Right.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know from what I know is that Gabby doesn't want to speak to police. Like, she does not, even the police trying to contact her, she doesn't want to speak to them. So
Another red flag.
yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it can just get you in deeper trouble by not speaking.
Yeah, I
You're
mean,
going to look a lot more suspect by not
exactly.
speaking.
Exactly what I was thinking. Like, if I was not guilty, I had nothing to do with it. Sure, where you want me to meet you? What time? When you want me
Right.
to pull up? Like, I'll be there, right? But it's so many times like, I'm not a cop killer. I don't want to go talk to the cop. But in this situation, even if Keon is your friend, you need to speak up for on his behalf. You need to talk to the police regardless,
Yeah.
whatever it is, right? That's what I think. But then what threw me off is well, the additional thing is Kada Scott had a boyfriend. Now, let's go back to Kada Scott before she was missing. She said that someone was harassing her. I'm still trying to think. I'm still trying to put the piece to the puzzle is who did she tell was harassing her prior to her missing? And who was harassing? Was it Keon that was harassing her? But she also had a boyfriend that you've actually spoke to. Let's get into that piece of it.
Yeah. So, I was just talking about this on my live because I'm like, I was just going back and trying to get the messages that I have with the boyfriend in between the boyfriend and between Kada. And to me, I don't think I could title him as a boyfriend. Um,
Oh,
I don't think they were in a committed relationship. Um, and he's never told me that he was her boyfriend. It was just it was just talking to me. He's never said like we've been dating for this long. He's only told me about how they've met and the night that he dropped her off. But looking at the messages, and we can talk about those, is that it was just kind of like they've gone on a few dates and they've hung out a bunch of times, but it was nothing super serious. I think he took it more serious to the public eye than it really
Yeah.
was in reality.
So basically, probably just somebody she was seeing is
I
where
think
you
so.
are with
Yeah.
it right now.
Right.
I'm just okay. And so did he mention okay, he took her to Top Golf, right?
Yeah.
And was that the same day she came up missing?
Right.
Yeah. Can you want to tell them a little bit about what he told you on that and maybe share the text messages if you can?
Yeah, no problem. Okay, so basically he told me that he dropped her off probably around 9:45 that night back home. And they um he mentioned something along the lines of like she oh, they bought them food. She bought them food, both of them food after. And she kept telling him he needs to eat. And he didn't want to eat. He wasn't hungry. So then she kept telling him he needs to eat. And she ate all the flats and left all the drums for him.
Right.
And I guess he basically stated that he didn't know that the food was left in the vehicle. So by the time that he left the food in the vehicle, that's when he tried calling her and texting her to say, hey, you left your food in the car. And then he stated that the phone calls never were going through. They were going to voicemail and that the messages weren't delivering. Right. And that was the last thing that he ever heard from her. So that was that. But as far as the messages go, he messaged her one time right after midnight, which would be the 5th.
Right.
So she was pronounced, they're saying that she's alleged to have passed away somewhere around like 10:20, 10:30 that night.
Right.
So right after midnight on the 5th, he messaged her saying, you left your food. And then he messaged her. He did tell me that they were planning to go to brunch that next morning after she got off of work.
Oh.
And he messaged her at 10:25 a.m. saying, what are you doing? There's no reply there. And then he messaged her at 3:33 p.m. that same day on the 5th saying, Ben, and this is the main text that stands out to me as far as there's no way that they were in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
He says, been calling and texting you, wanted to take you out, but I guess enjoy your day. Now, that stands out to me because if I was in love with somebody or in a committed relationship, I would be worried and not just be like, enjoy your day.
Right.
I would just like, why aren't you answering me? You know?
Right.
Let me call your mom. Let me call your dad. Let me call your sister. Let me call somebody to see where you are, what's going on.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't seem like he cared to do any of that. It was just enjoy your day.
Right. And that's kind of how, like, right. If it had been more than that, deeper than that, right, then that would have gave him like right. He would have been calling like she's not answering me. And she usually calls, she usually answers me on time. If I text her, she usually texting me back on time. She's not, and that, but he was so casual with that conversation that maybe they were just getting to know each other. And she kind of was blowing him off at some point or another. And he just took it as, okay, well, you ain't answering. So maybe I catch up with you another time. Right.
Right. Yeah.
Right there. That makes me think that he doesn't, because then I was thinking, the conversation came up that maybe he was possibly someone that hired Keon to carry this out. But then I don't think that at all. I just think that he was somebody she was dating. But do you think that he's the one that was harassing her that she was talking about? Or are we still thinking it was Keon?
I don't think, when I first talked to him before I really went in depth into thinking about Taz, that's his name. That's what he goes by, but it's Ramir. And whenever I saw like his background and the way he speaks to different people, media, me, other people that I know,
Uh-huh.
And I thought that he was suspect, but now I have ruled him out in my head as any type of suspect.
Yeah.
I don't believe he's involved in any of this. Do I think that he might know Keon? Possibly, due to the fact that he might have bought.
He's the pharmacist.
Right. He might have bought stuff from him because that's where when he was on the way to a gas station in Kada's neighborhood, that's when he met Kada. So it was on the way to go get a backwoods from the gas station. That's when he pulled out and he met Kada.
Uh-huh.
So I don't think he's a suspect. Now, as far as the harassing, my thing is her mother is the one that came out and said that she's been getting harassing texts and stuff and calls, right? So I don't know who it is, because if it was Keon and she knew that she was talking to Keon over the phone those multiple times and messaging him whatever.
Yep. Uh-oh. Your sound went away. Can you guys still hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear either one of us. Testing.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I can't say that I know or who I think Keon or who I think was harassing her, just because it seems to me that the night that everything happened, right?
Uh-huh.
My opinion is that
it went out again.
One second.
You're back. I can hear you when you said 1 second.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, real good.
Okay, we're just gonna talk on my phone.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
All right.
so the we were at the part of the night that everything happened where I was told by an employee at the assisted living home that she went in and she never clocked in. She still had all of her belongings with her. And she got that call where she was walking out saying, like, I can't believe you're calling me about this ish. And she left and was never seen again. And the only evidence they ever had to look into or whatever at the assisted living home was her vehicle. She didn't leave anything behind. I don't think she meant to leave for the night. I think she meant to come back, and maybe it was just a, hey, let me go outside, handle this real quick, and I'm going to come back in. But what could have happened is she went out into the car, sat in the car, and he left, or put her at her where he could have put a weapon up to her and was like, you're coming with me, and then things escalated from there. We don't know.
My same thoughts. I was like, okay, so let's go to work, because they said she was a good worker, right? And she came to work. So I was thinking, whenever they was text messaging back and forth, maybe he was like, well, let me talk to you for a little bit. And she was like, all right, you can pull up. I'll come out for a little bit, because I had to work or whatever. And I thought, my speculation was that once she went out, she kind of sat in the car to have the conversation and he took off with her. That's kind of where I was when I first heard of her leaving work.
Yeah, and another thing that I think about is, like, how do we know Kel is Keon?
Ooh.
How do we know Albert is telling the truth?
Oh,
because Albert is the one that identified Kel as Keon, right? And that's what the affidavit shows. But how do we know Kel is Keon when all of the data that was found was a Verizon phone and his phone, right? Or it
Right.
was a Verizon and the AT&T phone, one or T-Mobile, or it was two different devices, right? So that were linked to every single ping that they had.
Right.
So why, if he had been texting her on his personal device, why is he going to switch to go text her on another device? For what?
Yeah. It's so crazy. This is
I don't.
weird. Tawana says, Tawana, is it Tawana Boone? Welcome, Tawana. I truly don't think she knew it was Keon. Why wouldn't he be calling her from his phone? Why use a different, which is what you're saying? Why use a
Yeah.
different name? I believe Kel is someone she actually knows. So it's somebody else in the equation or just somebody she knows?
So when we go back to the Text Now app, it's Madeline's device.
Okay,
It
who's
is a
Madeline?
Madeline is one of the people that live at Belmar Terrace.
At the house. Okay. Okay. Right.
Yes. So
Right.
Madeline and Lopez are the two people that were residing at that house whenever the police showed up.
Right.
But the thing is that a lot of things are a little off to me, because in the affidavit it says the complainant, as in Kada's parents, reached out to called Madeline asking her questions. And this was on the 6th, okay?
Right.
October 6th. And she said, after that phone call, I gave the phone to Lopez. And then she said,
Yeah.
she had no remembrance of anybody having that device or any type of control of that Text Now number before that. So in my head, it's like, is she telling on herself without telling on herself that she
Mhm.
had this phone?
It
Or did
feels like it
somebody get to it and we don't know?
right, because at one point when they had them both down there in separate rooms, didn't she say she gave that phone to Lopez and they went in there and asked Lopez and Lopez was like,
No.
she never gave me a phone. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah. That's weird, right?
Yeah. And I think one of the people that is very suspect to me is Maddie. Maddie's very suspect to me. On the another thing that I saw, which this is just my speculation,
Uh-huh.
is on her Facebook page on October 4th, she posted at 12:05 a.m. and she didn't make another and mind you, before this, Maddie posts maybe like 5-6 times a day. This is
Right.
daily.
Right.
So on October 4th, she posts at like 12 something in the morning, and she doesn't make another post until October 5th in the afternoon. And everything with Kada happened that day
Right.
into October 5th.
So are we saying, and I think someone is saying this here, kind of to what I was about to say. So do we think that somebody was using that it wasn't her posting? Possibly, like you said,
What do you
12.
mean? Like on her Facebook account saying that somebody else was using her account?
Yeah. Do we think that? Or
No, I think it's her posting at
okay.
midnight and then she went offline for like a day, over a day.
Right. That's
Um,
that's just crazy. It gets worse. It gets worse.
the thing is that how do we know somebody else wasn't in that vehicle, right? I've seen the vehicle with the VIN number,
Okay.
pulling up per VIN number,
Uh-huh.
and there's seats in the back seat. Like somebody can sit back there.
Right.
I mean, it is not a very, I don't know how they said SUV because it looks like a, you know, those cars, you know, those like toy, those cars, like when I was little, I would like pedal them with my feet at the bottom and it was open
Yes,
at the bottom. That's
yes,
what kind of
yes.
car it looks
Like
like.
those. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the red things.
yeah, the red things.
Yeah.
Listen, and also a fugitive TV talked about that car. He said they could have gotten, it was dark, right? And it wasn't an actual SUV, but it was dark colored, and it could very well have looked like that. So he did mention that as well too, that it wasn't like that kind of didn't match. It was something there too, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And it could be the back of it that
yeah,
feels like
made it
it's
look like.
a, yeah.
Yeah.
I just, to me, I feel like I don't know if they have enough physical evidence that proves that's Keon. I think the main thing that everybody wants to see is this video footage to see if we can tell that it's actually Keon in the footage.
Man, Nicole, you make a good point with my friend here, Montana, who will probably come up in a little bit, right? He said the same thing. He's saying that Keon is going to beat this case because this is really all speculation. But where I am at with it is you're right. Video doesn't lie. And anything that is recorded, right? The text messages or any video, you can't lie about that. But then, oh, Fugitive TV is here. Welcome, Fugitive TV. So where I'm going with this is that he's saying Montana's saying the same thing, that he'll beat the case because you can't really say that Keon did the things that they're saying. You have to have that hard proof. But the only thing is hard proof at this point is going to be the videos to where they actually can see this person. And another thing they said, Nicole, I don't know how you feel about this, but they was like, they're not going to give us everything because they have a case. It's an actual case going, right? So we're not going to they're not going to give us all the evidence they have right now. We're not going to be able to get our hands on it because they do have a case to build. But
Yeah.
But I mean, we've seen high profile cases where video recordings are released, during a trial. So I'm with you. Like, show us the hardcore to let us know.
Yeah,
So
and I don't think we're not going to. I've spoke to the detectives, the head detective on the case, Detective Daly. He's the hey fugitive. He's the head person on the case, and I've spoke to him on the phone, and he's told me that Pennsylvania is very, very, very strict with all of their documentation and things like that. So it's going to be very hard to FOIA anything and receive it. So the issue here is that I just hope that the news media is able to go into. I don't think it's going to be live streamed, the preliminary hearing. Now
no,
let's pray and hope that he doesn't waive it, right? Because he
yeah,
can waive it and we won't know anything until trial.
yep.
So at that point,
And a lot of
the
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just saying, a lot of times people do waive their preliminary. They do waive it. So, but that's where you get the evidence. That's where you get everything, right? And so here, go ahead.
I don't think he, my opinion, I don't think he's going to. And why don't I think so? I think Shaka's a barker. I don't think that Shaka is going to stay silent. We see him all over news outlets talking every single day. So I think he wants to fight his case
Uh-huh.
and sit there and say, hey, y'all have no solid evidence that my client has done any of these multiple charges.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that he's not guilty. I'm just saying what's in front of us, right?
Absolutely.
So he might sit there and argue with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and say, here, the proof that y'all are showing me doesn't prove all of this huge list of charges that you have for my client. But we won't know. We won't know until next week if he
Yeah.
waives it.
Yeah.
But I do want to see that video footage, and in my opinion, I think that Albert saying Kel is Keon is what put them to Keon, and that device was seen with the camera at the same time, basically. And they're trying to say, like, that is Keon. Now, if they can sit there and look at a camera and say that's Keon, then why can't they see the person on the scooter that's riding around or the other person that's with them?
Yes. Because because they have the video where they're taking the body from the car behind the school. Who are they? Who are those people? Right? Why haven't we identified them? And it goes back to the question somebody in the chat asked, why is he the only one in jail? Because if you got somebody tampering with evidence by going and burying a body and you are conspiring to that crime. So why is it, if in fact we don't know, because he's innocent until proven guilty,
Right?
We don't know. But if in fact they were with there, we know there was somebody with him, he shouldn't be in jail by himself then, if that's the case. And so what that also leads me to is, if in fact those people were with him, is Keon gonna start talking and tell who was with him?
No.
You don't think he will? Well, probably because he probably already would have by now.
No, because if right now, think about it. The evidence that they have right now, Fugitive says, let the DA hire me for this trial. Shaka. Yeah, Fugitive is on top of Shaka. He's not letting him stand a chance or breathe any type of fresh air. The evidence that they have on Keon right now, and I'm just being realistic here, it's very slim to none that we know of, right?
Yeah,
we don't know all. They might have everything to the T for him, but what we know right now, we know that they only have some cell phone data that somebody said is Keon, and then some type of video footage that they can sit there and that they're sitting there saying this is 110% Keon. But the simple fact is that I just lost my train of thought. Oh my
it's
God.
okay, it happens. Like I did with you on the phone. I don't even know what else I'm saying.
No, but I don't know. I really, this is going to be very interesting to see if he doesn't waive his preliminary hearing, what is going to be said. And I hope that the news media are fast writers and can write everything clear as day and write up a full timeline for the ones that can't be there physically to watch it.
Absolutely. So there was also, I wanted to talk about, I wrote it down here, just a minute. Let's talk about, if you will, the tow company and the girl that owns, there's a young lady that owns this tow company that they used or something. I'm kind of mixed up about that.
Yeah, so sorry.
Okay.
So I need to, I'm trying, I need to make a video about this. I haven't, I can make it after the live tonight, but now we don't know if she is.
Are we jumping ahead for you, Nicole? Because if so, we can wait. Are you okay talking about it?
No, it's okay. I don't mind to talk about it.
Okay.
Because we don't know it. This is all alleged, right? Yeah. So Maddie had made a story that of a tow truck driver company that said something along the lines of, if any of my homegirls want their baby daddy's car towed, $100, money up front, or like serious inquiries only. And so we did some research, and like my whole community, we all did research together to figure out who this person was. Right. So we found the tow company and the tow truck driver, and it's out of Richmond, Virginia. Now, this is a like 4-hour drive from Germantown, and the reviews on this company is horrible. Illegal towing. They have federal suits, they have insurance suits, they have personal suits going on. Very, very illegal. Yeah, allegedly. Everything's alleged. They have so many bad reviews on their company. We don't know if they are involved or if that was the person. It's just, to me, they have such a bad review and it's such a bad look. And they did a lot of things illegally. And the way that they towed this vehicle and crushed it within a certain period of time
Yeah.
without bringing it to the crime lab, without doing any type of actual investigation, that to me is completely illegal and not the right method.
Well, we talked
It
about,
just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like
yeah.
it's a little strange, but with her being in Richmond, I don't know.
So we talked about the car and how the car got towed, and they talked about, like, in Philly. I'm not from Philly, but they mentioned how, like, a car could sit there forever because it's so busy in Philly that it wouldn't just disappear that quick. Like, it wouldn't be towed that quick, and like it had to be allegedly some foul play with maybe a tow company that was do things under the table if they need to, right? Like, you could pay me under the table, I'll go move it for you now, right?
Yeah.
So
Money talks.
yes, money talks. So we were kind of on the same page with you when you talked about that, but I was just thinking maybe we're on to something that, possibly could have happened with this particular person, and maybe nothing with them. Maybe nothing with
maybe
them.
nothing.
So again, alleged information. What I also I was listening to the news about this because they were talking about her funeral coming up on Saturday, and then they was talking a little bit about Keon and his charges that were brought out prior to that, and if they were going to be able to bring that in as evidence in this case. But then they was like, this case didn't even make it to a preliminary hearing, the prior case, and so they were not even, that's not even a question if it will be brought into something like this. Is that correct? Is that what the census that you've heard as well?
So I mean, I know that they reopened the case, right? I don't know if they're combining them or they're trying them together. I don't think they do things like that. But what I did find today is that, and I'll pull it up real quick, is that his charges for the previous case,
yes,
for the first victim of kidnapping for ransom, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, is, one second, let me find it. He had a hearing on the 4th for that case.
yes,
and that was supposed to be the preliminary hearing, but it got canceled and moved to the judge's court. The judge's court that is on Kada Scott's case. And the preliminary hearing is now scheduled for the same day as Kada Scott's case at the same time. So I don't know if it's because Shaka is his attorney and he already has like a preliminary hearing scheduled and they're just going to kill two birds in one stone. I don't know. Or they're doing something combined.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It could be, but they said, so he said it was dismissed. 2 prior for strangulation was one of them. And he said it won't be admissible in court because it didn't even go to preliminary hearing. Rule of preclusion instead of exclusion, whatever that means. They talked about that too. So I was just thinking they were going to it wasn't going to be able to be brought into the case because it didn't even make it.
Yeah, no. Completely different victim, completely different time. I think it's just because he has another case ongoing and he has the same attorney, and they're just going to hear him on both the cases at the same time, but it's going to be 2 separate trials. Like if he was to go to trial for the first case and then this case, it's going to be 2 separate trials and 2 separate sentencing if he's convicted. So but on speaking on that case, and I don't know if you've heard like this speculation about the first victim possibly being the mother of his child.
So see, we did not. Yes, we did hear that the first victim was one, or either was the mother of his child, and then Is she the one he was standing outside the window?
So this first victim is the one that he was outside the window, but it is not the mother of his child.
Not the mother of the child. I did
Not.
hear that.
I had her immediate family reach out to me last week confirming that. And the baby her kids look nothing like Keon at all.
Oh, okay. Because I did hear that one of them was his baby's mom. So, which is good.
Julia. Hey, Julia's my right-hand girl.
Oh, is this her right here?
Yeah, that's my right-hand girl.
Oh, she says, thank you so much to keep Kada's story alive and keep talking about it since it seems like the police aren't doing much or keeping it a hush. So that's exactly Julia is what I thought. I was like, I don't know, why is bloggers doing more digging than like the law enforcement, just like I felt in the David and Celeste case. I'm like, why are we not hearing from law enforcement? Why are they not doing their job? Why did it take somebody anonymously to call in this Kada Scott to say, no, you're missing it, you need to go back, and then they go back and they find her, right?
Was there really an anonymous caller?
Here's what I was just.
Was it really an anonymous caller?
What you're thinking, the anonymous,
or was it covering their faults?
Yeah. And we don't even know that right now, right? All we know, it was an anonymous caller. So I'm thinking, is this anonymous caller somebody that Keon knows and confided in? Is this anonymous caller Gabby? Like, is this anonymous caller, like, who is this person that gave you the exact information? They have to know Gabby, Keon, Kada, somebody to know that that's where that body was.
They had to have known something, heard something, seen something, and didn't say anything until then.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm not too sure. I'm like you. Is it anonymous? Like, law enforcement probably knows who it is, but we're going to keep you anonymous right now. Like, who is it? Who told? What else do you know? Right. She said Philly don't care. When we talked about why aren't they doing their jobs, because they don't care. I was listening to her point. I was listening to the Philly news, and they were like, they said the crime is so heavy. There are a lot of cases in Philly, and so, like, but we know that. So, but you still gotta hear and see these other cases. Like, I mean, it's high crime everywhere, but I feel like they're just not doing as much as they can for this case, or unless we just don't know. Unless it's just been done behind the scenes. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of corruption in Philly. But I don't live there. I just hear from the locals.
Yeah. I don't live there either. I'm like you. I just hear from them or hear the news, when I'm trying to figure out if there's any more new information. And it's just like, well, they have so many cases, but I mean, there's crime all over the nation, right? But we still have to have this heard, and we still need the work to be done in this case for justice. She said it's someone that's not obvious. Yeah, I believe that. I think, I don't know how you put your hand on it. Hey, corporate, welcome. She said, did we already read hers? Didn't they say in a news source that they said they got a call about to check the middle school, and then said they gotten an email to go back? They missed her. Why can't they track that email? I thought it was a phone call. Was it an email?
I've heard everything, all of the above.
See?
I've heard all the above, and I don't know which one's valid because we don't have any proof, right?
Yeah. We won't know. I mean, they're not going to tell us. Not going to tell us that. You're going to have some inside sources that, was willing to give some information in order to know that, I think. And so anyway, what I'd like to do, anything else that we haven't touched on, that's anything lately, like this week other than court?
If you want to touch on, I guess uh, we can talk about, I know this has been the talk of the town since day one, is Gabby and Dee's case that they have together.
Yeah. Yeah, Carla, is that Carla? Carla, the funeral is on Saturday. It's going to be Saturday, and maybe True Crime Nicole is going to be able to live stream it.
Yeah, if it is live streamed, I will show it.
Yeah. So funeral Saturday. So yeah, let's talk about that. The D and the did you say D and who'd you say?
Dee and Gabby, the
Gabby.
case that they
Yes.
have together.
Yes. Yes.
I
Let's
know
talk
a lot
about
of
it.
people had speculated, and I was told, I thought it was a reliable source. I was told that they had got paid off by Keon to attack the first victim, right? But in fact, that's false. And an immediate family member of Dee reached out to me and told me that it was actually a bully of Dee's growing up in high school. And that's who the victim was of that case. And Gabby maced the girl. Dee they both fought her, something along the lines of that. And they got, the girl ended up pressing charges.
Mm-hmm.
And then now they both have gone to court. And Gabby had court today. And let me just pull up the documents real quick.
Yeah, because they said her court date was coming up. That is true. I didn't know it was today though.
Yeah, so Gabby's was today, and she has a pre-trial conference, which is a pre-trial hearing.
Yeah.
For January 8th at 9 a.m.
So she's taking it to trial.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like. It might be she might be going to a jury trial. Now, Dee, on the other hand, is doing a bench trial with the judge. And hers is on December 19th. Dee is having a waiver trial, which is the same thing as a bench trial with no jury.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. So, but Dee, so they're not friends no more, right?
Yeah, they're not friends no more. And I think the reason why Gabby is going to trial is that what I've been told by family is that Gabby didn't physically assault this victim. It was that she just like maced her.
So Gabby's family's telling you this?
One of their families. Yeah.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
One of the families is telling me that, yeah.
Okay, I get it. It's a lot.
But I just on my live before I got on here today, I was doing some research and we were talking about Gabby's family, and I found a bunch of things. Well, I mean, not too much, but
okay.
I found Gabby's father, and now I kind of feel for Gabby. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying that if she's involved, she needs to get whatever's coming to her.
Right.
I am saying that. But Gabby lost her father not even 2 years ago, or 2 years ago, she lost her father. And I don't know if maybe she's been suffering from some type of mental health and grieving of losing her father.
Could be.
But I mean, that doesn't make it okay to commit a crime, right?
Right.
But
right.
I hope that she's getting the help, or she does get the help that she needs if she is still grieving him.
Yeah.
But Gabby's mother works for
Nicole. Did you tell us when he passed away? When Dad passed away?
2023.
23. So that's just a couple of years.
Yeah, he was just 51 years old, or 52.
It's still young, still fresh. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then mom
and and dad were divorced when he passed, so they weren't married. But
okay.
she is a licensed social worker and does therapy, and also has worked for the Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disability Services for Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Doing she has a very educational background. Let me just say that. She does have a very educational background.
Uh-huh.
I don't, a lot of people are speculating that she has ties to authorities and she might know people that know people. In my opinion, I don't think she has any connection to anybody. If anybody has connection, Gabby has connection to Keon, and that's where it stands.
Yeah. Wow. I want to take a minute to tell everybody over here that was not familiar um, with True Crime Nicole before now to please go over to TikTok and follow her at True Crime Nicole. Please do that. It's some good information over there. She's killing the game, just like Fugitive TV. But go over there and follow her on that. She's also on Instagram at True Crime Nicole as well, if you guys want to follow. I just want to take a minute to say that. And also to thank everybody that came in here tonight. Thank y'all for hitting the likes and interacting with us. In a little while, we're going to drop the link again. It's in the chat, but we're going to allow a couple of people, if Nicole's okay with it, to come up and ask questions. We'll talk more about it if you want to. So the link will be down there in just a minute, and we'll just continue the conversation. But I wanted to make sure that I say, go over and follow Nicole. You guys get some good information. This girl, let me tell y'all, she be digging and finding, and that's what caught my attention about her. So go over there and follow her if you're on TikTok. If not, if you're on Instagram, follow her there. All right, back to the conversation. Yeah, let's see. Carla Henry said, I'm just finding you. All right, so where was we? Oh, the parents. Did she have siblings?
Yes, Gabby had siblings. She has a sister and a brother. Her brother, from what I'm seeing, is that her brother's autistic, and then she has a sister. So only two siblings, and looks like they're younger.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Her sister might be older than her, but her brother is younger.
Okay. I know that she was saying that her and Dee were really good friends with Kada's sister. Do you know any more about that? Is that facts, or we don't know?
Well, I mean, they would be roughly around the same age range as Kada's sister. And I know they said, oh, I don't know Kada because I just know her sister, but my sister's 2 years older than me and I know all of her friends. So I found that a little odd.
Me too.
I even know some of my brother's friends my brother's 10 years older than me. I know their friends, so
yeah.
I don't know.
That's how I am. I mean, my sister's 2.5, 3 years older than me, but you best believe I know like the majority of her friends. There might be a couple that I don't, but I know the majority of what is flying around in here? Her friends. So anyway, yeah, so that was kind of weird, but I just don't know. I don't know that I want to just say, Gabby is not a part of this because it just feels like it to me. Allegedly, she is to me, but maybe, and like you said, not directly where she physically went and did something. Maybe there's some connections that she had to the toll people. I don't know. Maybe she had said, here, I know where this abandoned building is. Like, take her back there. Like, I don't know what her part was, but I just feel like it. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat that, right? But right now, I just kind of feel that.
I agree. And I just hope that soon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I did want to also say thank you to the new member that became a member to this channel. I appreciate that so much. Y'all just don't know how appreciative I am, but I'm thankful. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I forgot to say that.
No. What was I saying?
I'm so rude. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. I just have really bad ADHD, so I could start talking and then go off the handle.
We was talking about the sisters, the siblings, and I was like, I don't want to give up, like thinking that Gabby didn't have anything or know something indirectly.
I mean, oh yeah, like right now we don't. It could be anybody,
It could be anybody.
It could be anybody. I just really hope that somebody can release this video footage so we can see something.
Yeah.
Or come out and say something, arrest somebody.
Yeah.
Arrest somebody.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It could be anybody, but we know he's not alone in this. I know that he just, because there's no way. When I first heard this on my live, I was saying, well, whatever happened, I know there's no way he could have taken an unalived body because they're so heavy and did that by himself. There has to be more people. And what was it? A video came out showing that there was somebody helping him do that, because it's just impossible to do that and then go dig that by yourself, then go back to the car and then drag the body back. That's too much. Too much.
Right. And also in the affidavit, the night that they moved her body, it said that whenever the car parked, the Toyota Camry parked, 2 people got out of the vehicle, one on a scooter, one on foot.
Yep.
And somebody did tell me, I think it was Fugitive, that Gabby has a portable scooter, a foldable scooter that she carries on her back. You're
okay, Nicole. And didn't they? So what are you thinking about the other 2 ladies though? Like, what's it? Lopez is her name, and they got stopped, and she was one of them. She was in the car with him with Keon.
Yeah, I think they're all guilty.
I do too. I think they all know something. They had something
everybody.
to do with it.
I think he conspired with multiple people, not just 1 or 2 people. I think it was so many conspiracy people that he conspired with. But what I was saying about that night is that 2 people got out, they left, right? They were seen coming back and taking the body, taking the body, and then they came back.
Yeah.
And they were waving to the person in the vehicle, and that vehicle drove off. So if Keon was the person that took the body and buried it, who was in that driver's seat that drove off with that car when those 2 people walked back?
Yes.
It had to have been a female. Yes. Who was the watch out person while those people were burying her?
Absolutely. That's a good point. I think we'll find out. It ain't gonna be quick soon, but it's all right. Like, it's somebody that was like on the look. You'll be the one that's watching. We're gonna be the ones that's back here digging this grave, taking these people. Let us know anything, right? So they said they found her credit card and her purse out there, or wallet or something. Didn't he end up like smashing her phone or something?
I never heard
because
that.
They said they had her phone had been to that house or near that house twice, and at the location, but then it just went off the Richter. Like, there was nowhere else to be found. Montana is saying, why would Keon contact her in any way if he had interactions to unalive or intentions to unalive her? It would make him obvious. It would make him obvious knowing they check phone records. Some people do something not thinking that way though either. They don't think, oh, they're going to check the phone records in the moment, right? They're not kind of thinking that she could be. And then she said she could be suspect, but you have people that ride on scooters in Philly. Yeah.
Yeah. I've asked the locals in that area if people ride around scooters in Germantown, and they said not usually.
Oh, really?
I was thinking of, because they said electric scooters. So I'm like, those like scooters that you rent. I was like, do they have those there in Germantown? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't live there. So, I mean, I know here in Houston, in downtown Houston, they have them, but they don't have them in the outskirts of Houston. So I'm not sure on that one, but what was the point that I was going to say is, about why would he unalive her?
Oh, and contact her.
I don't believe his intentions were to unalive her that night
You think
until
that
he got into the car.
you think it just got to a heated conversation or heated argument and it just happened?
Yeah, I don't think he was I don't know if his intentions were to unalive her or just to kidnap her. Because I mean, he did steal a vehicle the day before, right?
Yes, he did. Yes,
So
he
that
did.
is a little bit of, and he also has conspiracy.
Yes.
So he
Has it?
conspired with somebody, but his conspiracy was to arson, right? From the day that he got the car and from the time that he unalived her to the day that he burnt the vehicle was 2 days. So he could have conspired the day of the 7th or the day of the 6th. It might have not been the day that he stole a vehicle. It might not have been the day that he unalived her. It could have been the day after, the day that he actually burned the vehicle, that he conspired through messages or whatever it was
Uh-huh.
to burn the car. I mean, the way I just look at it as far as the first victim, right? The first victim, he kidnapped her.
I was
He
gonna say,
bit
didn't he already
her,
have a kidnapping? Yeah.
right? He bit her and he didn't unalive her and he doesn't have attempted murder charges.
Mm.
So I, I don't know what was different with Kada.
Yeah.
Why if his full intent was to kill her that day, where did that come into play? Why did he sit there and have a whole plan to unalive her? He had to have been watching her from Top Golf up until that time.
Because it seemed like he was pissed. The thing about that is what I would think is, so now that you mentioned that, right? He's if he was liking Kada, right? And she's at Top Golf,
And he saw her.
he's mad. He's pissed. And but I'm still, it's still a possibility he didn't think, maybe he thought I'm gonna scare the heck out of her, right? I'm gonna
Or
go
he
down
was
here.
sitting on the corner whenever the boyfriend dropped her off.
And he's really heated now, right? He has a pow pow with him allegedly,
Right.
or somebody did, whoever did that to her, and he got
Followed
mad,
her.
and they started having a heated conversation, and in the heat of the moment, it could have just happened. Since he doesn't have, because you kind of like look at the patterns of what they do, right? So he has a pattern of kidnapping. Maybe he was just going to take her off, right? But what I'm confused also is like, are you going to kidnap me again, or whatever? However she put that. What did that mean?
Let me take back my thought of I don't think he had the intention. I think Keon has full intentions and full capability of killing somebody. Let me put it that way. He has it. He brandishes his weapon. He already has brandishing a weapon in another case. He already has kidnapping charges. He already has assault charges. He is capable of going the extra that extra little mile to end somebody's life.
Right.
If you have all intentions to kidnap somebody, let me just say yes, you can have the intention to kill somebody.
Yeah.
A lot of people that get kidnapped, they don't survive. So when somebody does survive a kidnapping, that's a shocker to a lot of people, and that's a blessing to a lot of people. If this is truly a premeditation thing from the very beginning, from whenever he stole that vehicle, he had to have been following her. He had to have been seeing that she was on this date with this guy, that she was hanging out with this guy. Maybe she was telling him like, "Hey, we can hang out tomorrow," and kept putting him off and putting him
Yeah.
off and putting him
Yeah.
off, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh no, it's so many different scenarios that you could think of that happen, right? Because when you start putting everything that, like, what you've dug into, what I've dug into, what Julia has, what fugitive, what different people are finding, it's like, well, maybe this could have happened. Or no, wait a minute, maybe this could have happened. It's
Yeah,
so
I
many
know. We have
scenarios.
so many different theories in our head because we
Yes.
don't have until we get more evidence, maybe we can start piecing things together. But right now
Right.
it's like
Right.
there's 5 million different theories and we don't know.
And we
So
just
it's
don't
all
know.
alleged.
Yes. This is all alleged because we don't know. This is just our opinion and what we can sit back and think of and kind of get out of our minds what we're thinking, because we don't have the hardcore evidence right now. But we're going to continue to follow the story. We're going to continue talking about it because I feel like it's worthy of that for her to continue to have the conversation about her. And so let's go ahead and try to get a couple of people up that want to come in. So you guys, what we do over here is we drop the link and anybody can hit that link and we can go deeper into the conversations. You can ask Nicole questions, whatever, kind of tap into her mind, see where she thinks about what you're thinking, and have this conversation a little while longer because we got a little time tonight. We came prepared tonight. So if you want to come up, I'm going to drop it now. He said she probably thought, what did she say? Or he said, Chantel, she probably thought she was coming outside to a girl and Keon was in the car. But where I don't know about this, Chantel, is because they text messaged between each other. And she told him
called each other.
Yeah. And she told him to call her when she got there. When he got there. And
but that goes back to like, do we know Kel is Keon?
That's what we don't know.
Just because Albert says it, that is hearsay. And I don't even know if that's even, if you can even use that in court.
Yeah.
They're going to object to hearsay.
It's a lot because they said, well, he goes by a lot of different names because he's the pharmacist in the neighborhood. So people call him a lot of different things. So, but you still can't say, still can't say that that's Kel.
Yeah.
The link is out there, you guys. Come on up and talk to us. We got a few minutes. It's in the chat. So just hit that link and come up and talk to us. We'll stay on a little bit longer and have the conversation while we do have Nicole. She's a busy girl. Y'all. Let's talk while we have time.
Yeah. Where are my Philly people at? Where y'all at? Y'all
come on in. I know Taylor is, right? Plugs have nicknames. They do. And that's why he has all those names. But is it Kel? Like, that's our question.
Another thing that I found is that Keon only has one sibling, and that's Kyrie, the one that's a nurse. And also his parents, I'm struggling to really, based off the information that I found federally, it has, his parents have filed for bankruptcy twice.
Keon's?
Yes.
So they have money.
Allegedly. They are not that.
Allegedly.
I think it is because allegedly, I believe it's the relationship between Keon's father or Keon's family and Shaka. And I spoke on this last night. I don't believe they are paying him all this money that everybody's alleging. This family, I mean, you can work, right, and file for bankruptcy, but the amount that they're filing for bankruptcy, also their job status, it says he was a UPS driver. He's been a UPS driver for years now. Also his mother worked for the University of Pennsylvania back in early 2000s, and then she started working for CHOP in 2012. And their income isn't income that people would think that they're millionaires. Okay, these aren't multi-hundred or over $500,000, $600,000 house, like a family. This is not how much money they make on paper. But they are in a lot of debt, and that's why they filed delinquency, and that's why they filed bankruptcy.
You know where that came from, Nicole? Like, they got all this money.
Yeah, everybody says they have all this money.
And he went to this private school and, all this stuff is why.
You said all the what?
I said where it came from that they had a lot of money is because he went to a private school.
Right.
And put him through school. He blew that. He messed that up.
Yeah.
And then getting Shaka saying that they're paying Shaka all this money, so they gotta be rich. Yeah.
No, my family's attorney doesn't pay that attorney the same that they pay a general client. They pay a very small percentage rather than somebody that's just a regular client being hired. But yeah, it seems to me that they have like gotten a credit card or a loan, or a credit card or a loan, and they've been delinquent on all of them, and then they end up filing bankruptcy. But yeah, I saw that and I was like mind blown, because I'm like, everybody's making them seem to be this millionaire family,
Right.
but the papers don't show that.
It's not adding up. See, that's the right there, the epitome of social media, because social media can look at something and take it far left, and it don't even have to be that, but because of one thing they said or one thing they did, they make it into something else without the research, right? So all right, so Montana came up. Anybody else want to come up on stage and talk to us? We would love to have you up while we're here. Montana, what you thinking? This is so Nicole. This is Montana, who I told you earlier in the conversation, that said he believes that Keon will beat this case.
Oh, yeah. Somebody said he has a brother. Oh, sorry.
No,
I was trying to read that comment.
Do it.
I can't read. I can't see the comment anymore.
Where did it go? Oh, God.
I don't know.
It's going kind of fast down here. I lost it. Put it back up there, y'all. We lost it. It says, per the court documents, it shows that Shaka became his lawyer on 10/20, which was very recent.
Shaka was his lawyer on his previous charges.
So he's been his lawyer.
So they not paying full price. I don't know what they're paying.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know what they're paying. I think they were trying to escape that Philly life, how much people end up being, and they wanted to give them their children a better outcome for their future. I think the other comment said something about like he had other siblings. Well, I'm not sure about that, if he had other siblings. Maybe his dad had different like children from somebody else possibly, but on both of the, within a what was it? It was a like 12-year span of each of the bankruptcy files. There was only Kyrie and Keon. So on both of them, as far as dependents for both of them. So okay. I'm not sure. So if somebody else was just not named on there as a dependent, and that could be like a half sibling or something else.
Doesn't he have a brother incarcerated?
I don't know about that.
So what we're hearing is there's a brother incarcerated for unaliving someone of Keon's.
I don't know.
Yeah, allegedly. That's what we heard.
I don't know. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of things about like Kada Scott's cousin or brother, or Keon's family unalived Kada Scott, or Kada Scott's family unalived Keon's family, or it was like the Kushar or Oshar Scott person that unalived. I know what y'all are talking about. I couldn't find any connection to anybody. So maybe, hey, if y'all find the connection, I love working together with people and figuring it out together. So shoot me that information and we'll look deeper into it. But yeah.
All right. So let me see. Montana, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. How y'all doing?
Hey.
Good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
sibling from his mother, and I believe he has children from a
Children.
previous marriage. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Shaka Zulu is a is a relative.
It could maybe I don't know. Maybe well, I mean, the first claim that they did, the father was 40 years old. So the father could well be I think it was in his 40s whenever they filed their first bankruptcy claim. So he definitely could have been married previously with more kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's completely true. Too much coming out, can't figure out what is true and what's not. I know, and that's why I like personally, and I was just explaining this on my live, is that I like to have sources and proof behind things that people are saying. So if somebody ever comes to me about something, I'm like, where's your source at? What,
Yeah.
let me see it. Because if it is factual, then hey, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So what you need, what you want to add, Montana? Anything?
This is what I want to say right here. Like, first, I want to, I hope Kada get the justice she deserves because, like I said, no one deserves to go out the way she did. And with Keon, the only evidence they really have, like from news, is phone records where his phone signal putting him in certain places, right? And just like I explained when we talked about this the last time, when you're tried in when you're tried in court for a M charge, you that's not going to get you convicted. You got to have physical evidence like DNA that could place you there. Pictures or some kind of witnesses that could say they seen you with their own eyes that could place you there. And phone records do not place you there. How they say that polygraphs are not admissible in court, the same thing as phone records. You can be, say for instance, like I told you, I could be in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and she could be in Germantown, Pennsylvania, right? And I could be all the way in Allentown, and I can make a phone call. If that server is full, it's gonna ping me over to the next tower and put me in that location. So phone records so phone signals cannot convict you of a charge.
Um, so this is something that I talked to. So a case that I was on previously, like covering before this one, I learned a few things in regards to phone data. And I spoke about it before I ever saw the affidavit. And then when I saw the affidavit, they basically took the words out of my mouth. Um, when a with phone data, there's towers around, right? So there's arcs that go through the towers. And if there's two arcs that intersect, it is 99.9% certain that that phone and whoever's like that phone and that device is in that location. Now, if the arcs are like parallel or they're not intersecting, it's just in that vicinity. It's within a certain mile radius. But if it is intersecting arcs, it is for certain that it's like 99% certain that that device is in that location. And I know that most of those, some of the affidavit did say that there was intersecting arcs. I don't know about all of the pings, but I know some of them were intersecting.
And just to throw this off, this the same thing they try to use. You remember the Young Dolph trial about 2 months ago with Hernandez Govan? This the same evidence they try to use with him. And remember, he beat it because they're not those phone records are not admissible in court.
I don't know about the whole not admissible because I
Just like
I
like
I I believe phone records are admissible. They can definitely use phone records in court.
because like I said, you
Yeah,
could ping.
phone records in court before.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can
yeah,
definitely
they
use
could.
phone records.
They use it in court, but it's not really no hardcore evidence because I could be all the way 2 towns or 2 or 3 towns over, and they could pay me to that tower because of the server is full because that's a big state, and all phone carriers and it's like 3 or 4 phone carriers use the same towers. So the
Right.
towers is always
Yeah.
full.
Right. I mean, right. I see what you're saying. If
Like
he's
you
pinging
got,
somewhere, that's why I'm saying like it's like in a vicinity if it's not
yeah.
intersecting, right? So if it's just pinging from one tower, it's just in a certain amount of radius. But if there's intersecting arcs, that's where that phone is. And I know that I need to look back on the affidavit to where they said that there's intersecting arcs.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
But when they are intersecting, that phone and that whoever's on that phone is in that exact location where it's intersecting, and it's not in a vicinity, it's in that location.
But that's the only thing that they have on him with, but no
Right.
physical
Yeah.
evidence.
Yeah, we can't sit here. I mean, unless they can sit there and have a clear face in a video cam footage, all they have is phone evidence or
And,
phone
in-
data pings. That's all they have, and somebody to sit there and say that Kel is Keon. That's
and then,
hearsay.
but what I'm saying is those phone records that place him there that don't put him as committing a crime.
Right. They have to prove that he was the one that unalived
Yeah,
her. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I said that to her earlier is that like they truly to be completely honest, and they don't have a lot of evidence that we know of. Right.
and
They might have
yeah,
a lot more,
They
but we
may have a
don't.
lot more. We just
yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not going to give us everything because the case is still under investigation. Because what I'm hearing is there's another perpetrator.
I heard that too, Montana.
And this was recently that this another perpetrator. They believe it was someone else when they indicted him on the other charges of the arson. That they believe that he wasn't alone. So since it's still under investigation, they're not going to put too much out because it'll tip the person who is the perpetrator.
I think they are just not releasing all the evidence. You said justice for Kada. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're not going to release it all because there's still another perpetrator out there, and they don't want to tip him off.
Allegedly.
Well, I mean, that's how it goes, regardless.
Yeah. And why turn himself in if he didn't have anything to do with them? Yeah, because
Cover
he turned
himself.
himself in.
And then another thing, why would I contact you up to the minute that you is missing, and you know, what I'm saying, to you end up missing, to the minute that you're missing? That's obvious, especially knowing, and we can't sit here and say maybe that was his mess up, or maybe he ain't know that. We already see that he's already been charged with other felony acts, so that's something that he knows. Everybody knows.
I wanted to comment on the last one that was just pinned. They did not find the weapon. They found ammunition. Two different things. Just
Yeah.
wanted to be
But,
clear on that. It was 4 millimeter ammunition, not the weapon itself.
right. That we don't know of. Of course, they wouldn't tell us because we would mess the case up.
We would probably solve the case if they gave us
Solve
any
it.
more
It would be
information.
solved. Yeah.
And then another thing we got to get that it's election year as well. So you got these people, they doing anything, doing they look doing all type of things just to get an arrest so they can get reelected. When it's election year, everybody doing what they need to, everybody doing everything just to get a arrest so they can get voted back in as well. You go have judges that go be going harsh on people and all just to get
Yep.
reelected.
It's true. That happens. That's a true thing. That really does happen.
Because when I looked at the news, it said that he was arrested 4 days after she was missing. How can you charge someone without a body?
Now, I don't recall him admitting that he kidnapped her. Did he say he kidnapped her?
No, no,
No, I was just hearing what she was saying. I'm sorry.
you know about that, Nicole?
No.
Where the news say he was arrested 4 days after she was missing.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, not 4 days.
He was arrested on the 14th, 16th, 14th or the 16th, one of those days.
He
And
was missing
he
for
wasn't arrested. He turned himself in
yes.
because they went to go look for him at the Durham Street house at his old house that he resided in, and they couldn't find him. They ended up getting a hold of his parents, talking to his parents, and then he ended up turning himself in. But no, I'm not aware of him admitting to anything. Did the ammunition match though? I believe they said no. The ammunition did not match. Nothing at that house matched that they
Right.
found at that house matched what was at the burial site.
That's what they said. That's right. No, it did not match.
So now when we saying that, now only thing you got is just like I said, phone records, no weapon, no DNA. When they even arrested him, you know, if he was that slow to contact her up to the minute that she was missing, you know, they would have gunpowder residue test him when he got arrested, do his clothes, his hands, and all that, because you know gunpowder residue stay on your hand for a while on your skin.
Yeah, I don't think it was on him. I don't think it was on him at the time that he turned himself in.
And Andrea, however you say it, like why was his car seen at all locations multiple times getting out of his vehicle registered to him with another person? I'm telling you.
Also, why were they pulling him over multiple times and never arrest for all those traffic violations? Where are those tickets at? Where is that report at? You know, like what was the reasoning for that? Were they
Yeah.
watching him already? Kata's boyfriend lived near where they found Kada, also related to the woman that was questioned. Oh, I know that came up in conversation. The boyfriend does live near, he resides just a couple of avenues away from the Auberry Rec Center, and where Kada lives. Now, as far as him being related to Madeline or Lopez, I don't have any confirmation on that.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that. There must have been enough evidence to make an arrest. He turned himself in.
Yeah, he turned himself in before he had a warrant.
Yeah, and they didn't immediately charge him with unaliving her. They charged him with, I think, the kidnapping part first.
The arson.
I mean, the arson, excuse me, the arson. And then
the
those
theft of the
charges came
vehicle.
later. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
He actually has two different cases. So he has the case with the arson and all those other charges, and then he has the unaliving and all the charges after that. It's two cases, but they're going to be tried at the same time.
No, I think they got the one with the arson. And they trying to put it with this case where they all tried at the same time, and then that one where he caught that kidnapping on that other girl earlier this year. You remember that?
Yeah.
That's when if he gets whenever he go to trial for either one, whatever prison time he get, he just go back to court and get resentenced again for the next charge to get added on.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna. I think the Commonwealth is gonna win the case with the first victim. Now that they have a video of the actual kidnapping.
Yeah.
See, what the court gonna do is when they take him if he go 9 times out of 10, he probably gonna go to trial. And when he go to trial, they're gonna use that first victim from earlier this year that he kidnapped, and they're gonna use her to testify to tell the jury about his character of how he is and the history that kidnapping women and all this other stuff and assaulting women. So that's what they're gonna use to tear down his character. That's why I believe she's gonna be used for. Then he gonna go back to court and get sentenced for her.
Possibly.
It's
with
possible.
his baby mama. Wait, his baby mama.
She said the first. Oh, you already addressed that because we said that wasn't his baby mama, right?
Yes, that is not the mother of his child. No.
Yeah.
But y'all, I'm not on Keon's side. We just speaking of the evidence that we have on. Because if he did it, I want him to get everything that's coming for him.
Yeah, we respect everybody's opinion on here. You know, we're just having a conversation. You know, but because none of us know. We don't have the hardcore evidence. It's
You
just
know,
all
that could
speculation.
be anybody. That could have been my little sister, and I would want justice for her. So
We don't know if they have the DNA yet, which I would most definitely do if I was committing a crime. We're behind on these. The chat's going so far fast, y'all. I'm sorry. We lost a lot of gosh, way behind. Did we already do that? That's why he stole the car. He needed another car to get rid of. He wasn't going to burn his own vehicle, which he uses every day. Now, come on. She said, and also I still find the Taz guy sus because he's a landscaper. I don't know.
He used to be a landscaper. I don't know if he is now. That was before he was incarcerated.
He got a hearing for the tickets. Oh, I was wondering where the tickets were. Like she was asking, like, where are the tickets? So he has to go to court for those tickets. He didn't seem right to me. Seemed like
He
the
got
time
a hearing for the tickets.
for the ticket.
That happened. That didn't happen that month.
Boyfriend not advocating enough, like he's not saying much or looking for justice for. That's why we believe that it's possibly just somebody she was seeing instead of it being her actually in love with boyfriend. No, he turned himself in for a warrant, and they told his lawyer about Kada, a landscaper for okay. He deleted pics on his page that was sus. Who deleted pictures on their page? Keon? I can't deal with her anymore. And seemed he knew those.
With me?
With who?
She can't deal with me anymore?
I don't know who she was talking about. And seemed he knew those wooded areas from the past, from his post. That's why I was like, well, maybe Gabby was like, well, you can go behind that. This is allegedly that abandoned building. Ain't nobody gonna know there. Possibly, we don't know. And seemed he knew those wooded areas. Okay, we already said that. On 10/14/25 ADA, what is Czechoslovakia approved charges of kidnapping, REAP, stalking, false imprisonment, use of e-communication facility, and tampering with evidence. King surrendered. Right. But was that for another case? Gosh. I'm skipping over. Per the affidavit, the evidence established that KS.
Yes, that was the first case. They reopened it.
Yeah, the different other case. And then per the affidavit, the evidence established that Kada Scott went missing under suspicion circumstances, and that the Verizon VoIP devices used to contact her were operated by Keon King. His phone's RTT data.
Wait, the evidence established that Kada Scott went missing under suspicious and that the Verizon VoIP devices used to contact her were operated by Keon King. Yeah, so the Verizon is his personal phone and the VoIP is the IP pings from the text now number. Yeah.
Okay. And then
Taz
deleted the pictures.
They were on his thread. The one with the bench and stuff was on his threads account.
And he went and deleted them.
No, they were still on there up until he made his page private.
Gotcha.
He made
Yes.
it private because of me.
Oh, you was trolling him.
No, he just didn't like that I was speaking on him.
Yeah. All the pics that Taz posted are from Kada's fitness and clothing page. Internet phone from getting turned. That's how they linked them together. They said Shaka said they were unaware of the charges for Kada. They just asked Shaka to turn him in.
Yeah, they had no clue that he was connected to Kada at all that day.
Yeah, so it wasn't that he was turning himself in for Kada. It was for the previous stuff.
They wanted to question him. They were wanting to bring him in for questioning. I do know that he had DUI charges from Delaware that were from last year that didn't get he didn't get like I haven't pulled that case up in a minute, but I know that was months after until they even brought it up to him in
Right.
court. But yeah, they just wanted to talk to him and question him.
I just feel like it's somebody knows something more and they are going to tell it. Somebody's gonna tell it all. They still IG page is private. Please be sure to subscribe. All right, Nicole. Well, thank you so much for being here. You don't know how much I appreciate you. Again, I wanted to say thank you. And I also want to thank everybody in the chat and for interacting in the chat, and your opinions matter. Everybody has their opinions and we can have our opinions here respectfully. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Montana, for coming up. I figured other people would come up and be here with us, but that's okay. We still had a good conversation in the chat going. I couldn't even hardly keep up with the chat tonight. So that was a good thing. So again, over here, if you would go follow True Crime Nicole over on TikTok. Nicole, go ahead and tell them who you are and where they can find you.
I mean, I'm True Crime Nicole. I'm mainly on TikTok on Kada Scott. I'm on Facebook too. I haven't really posted. I've been very MIA from everything but TikTok lately. But I mean, I'm on all platforms.
Okay.
I'm gonna get back in the groove of things and start going on all platforms rather than just TikTok. But yeah, you can find me Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok.
All right. And then you can also find us on Instagram and TikTok, Black Link Magazine. And we're here a lot every night on YouTube, Black Link Mag Media. We talk about it all. Entertainment, we talk about crimes, we talk about it all. On Fridays, we have Freestyle Fridays where we talk about anything. So you guys come back over here and join us if you will. Nicole, I hope you will come back as this continues to unravel. I want to have you and Fugitive TV together.
Yeah.
That would be really nice. So maybe we can work that out. So we'll stay in touch with you. We will be following you. Thank you guys so much. And don't forget, hit the like if you haven't already, and on your way out, hit the like. It keeps us in the algorithm. We appreciate you. Go follow Nicole. Go follow Fugitive TV. Montana, thank you for coming up again. Thank you, everybody. Y'all have a blessed
welcome.
night. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Good night, everyone.